Hello everyone and welcome to an unboxing of The Binding of Isaac 4 Souls Requiem, which is the follow-up to the original Binding of Isaac 4 Souls from Edmund Macmillan, a card game based on his popular video game. It's probably my favourite roguelike as well, played a bunch of it, and all the expansions and some side stuff as well. Think of it as a cross between Munchkin and The Binding of Isaac. If you're familiar with Munchkin, you'll have a leg up on how this plays, but it has the flair, the art style, and the mechanics and monsters and whatnot from The Binding of Isaac. And specifically, I think this was called the Big Boy Box, which is a storage solution for everything that comes with Requiem and all the original releases as well, the base game, and I've forgotten what the expansion for the original version was called. You might be wondering what this is over here, incidentally. There was an option to pick up some extras when you backed this, and I decided to pick up a plush of a boss in The Binding of Isaac Repentance called Little Plum. It's not so little. Little Plum will consume you all. He is exceptionally large, but also very cute and very funny, and there's a couple of other extras that we'll probably open with first. I'm going to move him out of the way though, he can't stay in the shot, he takes up too much of it. Look, it's just, he is the centre stage otherwise, and as cute as he is, he's in the way. There we go, we reached an agreement, he's still in the shot, kind of, but we can look through some of the things. Incidentally, if you ever want to get familiar with this game, there's an officially supported tabletop simulator mod that is fully scripted. It will take you through it, it's got the rows in there and everything. So anyway, I believe this was just a bonus thrown in at the Kickstarter. It's a little figurine of Tainted Isaac. The Tainted characters are kind of twisted versions of the base cast introduced in Repentance, rather, in the video game form. And this is one I especially ordered just because, you know, it's going to be very cool looking, assuming it meets the quality of the old statues they did with the previous version of the game. So I'm just going to open up Tainted Isaac. Unfortunately, there's no way to open it without ripping the top of the lid. Unfortunately for that, is that actually the case? It is, yeah, you do. You just have to rip the seal. So if you want to keep it in pristine condition, you ain't ever opening it. But this is going to go on my shelf with all the other ones I got from the first edition. It is in a little baggie. It comes with a base, I can feel that. And let's see. This bag is sturdier than you would think to rip open. There we go. There's poor baby Isaac. Oh, Tainted Isaac I should say. And just the base there as well, just so I show it properly. Put him on his base real quick. That went on nicely. He's a little paler than he should be. But that is Tainted Isaac, which is the sad, beat up version of normal Isaac. Yep, okay, yeah, he is wounded. So that is Isaac. But then Angelic Isaac is one of the bosses in the game. It's a very confusing game, don't worry about it. A lot of biblical stuff, a lot of demons and angels, lots of sad family drama if you actually look into the story of it, but at its core it's just a really, really good roguelike. This is massive. I'm not sure what's in what, but there do be stuff. That is very round. He is mostly a ball, if this is... Okay, wow. Yeah, okay, his head is huge. How huge, I hear you ask? This huge. It's as big as my hand. And I've got a big hand. So this must be his wings and the base then, in here. Hang on. That is even larger than I thought it was. Yeah, there is a couple of wings. Got to be a stand, right? A proper stand? Yeah, it is. I'm not sure how well this is going to hold him though. Right, let's see. So this slots into the back. And then we've got ourselves a couple of wings that slide in, yeah, surprisingly easily actually. Well, that one did. And that one is in, and just like that, we have ourselves, we'll just move that back a second. We have ourselves Angel Isaac in all its glory. With that head is much larger than I thought it would be. And that is the art that appears on his card, if I remember rightly. So that's just some extras I got. We'll move on to the actual box now. Alright, let's take a look at this. This is a heavy box with a clip to open. I think it has an outer thing to get off as well. We'll just look at the back here. Incidentally, I have played like every instance of the video game of Isaac. I never knew he had an official last name. So it is news to me that Moriah is his surname, because I did not know that. Oh no, Baby Plum's attacking him. Hang on, back up. You've had your time in this... There, okay, you stay there. Age 14 plus, 1 to 4 players. They've added a solitaire mode / solo play mode, which the original version did not have. 30 to 60 minutes game time. I can tell you that if you're playing with people, I've played 2, 3 player, 4 player games, they can sometimes be over in 15 minutes and they can sometimes take 2 hours. It depends how much you screw each other over, it depends how lucky you get. It's a very, very fun and crazy system. The goal is simple, incidentally. You're the first player to get 4 souls, and you get souls by killing bosses, but it's not as easy as it sounds, especially because players can mess with each other. So I'm just trying to get the outer shell off here without ripping it too much, but honestly if it's got exactly the same underneath it, I'm not that bothered. But that said, yeah, this is on way too tight. Maybe if I do it this, if I do it this way, okay, there we go. Okay, it's missing some of the info in the back, but this is meant for storage. So, crack it open, and let's see what's inside. Ooh. Oh, on the top of the box we have the Lost. It's hang on, if we just pan up, there we go. It's one of the characters in the game, an important character. So we have some stickers, Guppy and Mom. I've never seen Mom looking so normal, and I know that's not normal looking, but you should see how she looks in the game. Brimstone, the dice, lucky dice. Oh yeah, they're actual fake tattoos, transfers. Neat. Then these might be stickers then, I think. I'm sorry for the brief cut there, the dog was looking like she was going to bark at someone. So these are stickers to some of the tainted characters, tainted Judas, tainted Isaac, tainted everyone. The game has a lot of poop humour in it, so if that offends you, this won't be for you. Oh hey, they're the normal versions. So that's the normal versions. Tainted versions. Not of all the characters, there's more than that, but still. Big thank you to everyone who supported the Requiem Kickstarter and joined us on this pretty insane venture. It's with your support that we were able to pack so much great stuff into this product and made it not only better, but your interaction and creativity made this whole experience honestly a ton of fun for me as well. Till the next time, Edmund McMillan XOXO. What is this? It's very cool looking, I just don't know what it is. Wow. Oh, this way around, sorry. Has some really, really neat looking art. Is this Edmund? It doesn't look like Ed's style though. I wonder if this is a guest art thing. Because that's a town filled with Isaac enemies. That is really cool looking though. I don't know if I want to open it to see if there's more in between the 2 pages. I can safely open it on one edge, I think. It looks like it is openable. No, actually. Yeah, maybe. I don't know if I want to though. We'll see. Yeah, it is going to come open. Okay, let's just gently have a look. Because these are prints. I don't think they're literal drawings. They're prints of a drawing. Well, actually, that said, that feels an awful lot like paper to me. How many of them is there? It is just 2 back-to-back sheets. Yeah. Okay, I'm not going to open it then. I want to keep them pristine. But yeah, very, very cool looking. And we've got a little bit of protection there. So you will notice a lot of the box seems to be empty. This is the storage solution for, in fact I have the original right here on the floor. As a visual aid, this is what the box originally looked like. 4 souls, the original release, it was a thin thing. I think I did an unboxing as one of the first videos on this channel actually. So, those cards are in there. There's space in here for them so that this is your one-stop solution for it. So, let's see what else we have though. There's the little how to play booklet with another silica gel. They like their silica gel because there's one there too. So it's an itty bitty thing and it should have information on, yep, co-op or solo mode right at the back here. It seems a bit short to me because you only get 8 turns I think. Let's see. When both characters have taken turn, the D8, yeah, you get 8 turns, which seems a little short. QR code to access the 4 Souls website and extended rules. So there is an extended version of the rules as well, other than just this little booklet. My dog's getting cross at something. One moment, please. So we have our bag of things for play in here, along with some extras, and I think there were stretch goals or daily unlocks, that kind of thing. More silica gel, collecting them at this point. So this is coins. You can see them there. Another side. Well, actually, they're the same. The other side has brimstone on it, I think. Coins are used to purchase items from the shop in the game, so they have a gameplay purpose. We have 2 sets of them. This is a baggie for deciding things, I believe. a bloody sack version of it. Yeah, there it is. Or for putting coins in, because it's got the money symbol on it. That's neat. Put that to one side. That is hearts for your character's health. The original didn't come with that kind of thing. Silver coins for denoting 5. They have the devil symbol on the back, although it's upside down. A very large D6 and a regular sized D8, which is the only dice you need to play the game. A pin of Mom's knife, one of the most powerful items in the game. The basic story of the game, incidentally, is Isaac is escaping into a basement filled with aborted monsters because his mother is trying to kill him because she heard the voice of God telling her to do so. Very biblical, as I said, not safe for kids. Spirit hearts. They call them soul hearts. The correct term is spirit hearts. I will not hear anything to otherwise. So that's all the extras that you use for gameplay purposes. The only thing I don't see storage for, actually, depending, maybe you can lift this out, is it did come with an official playmat, the first edition. I don't have that handy, but I do have it. There's no way that would fit in here. So I guess that's still one thing you would have to keep separate, unless there is like some kind of hidden compartment we haven't found yet. So then we move on to some cards. What is this? Key terms. That's just, okay. And then, how are these separated, I'm wondering. So we've got our Who Am I cards, that's the characters. I don't know why that one has a purple door. Let me see here. I want to see what all these things are first before I open them, to see if they're segmented correctly. That's starting items, and maybe that's a starting item, I'm not sure. Those probably do go together. And we've got ourselves, blank cards to make your own characters, I guess. Neat. Well, that's definitely, actually no, I was going to say that's a starting character. Oh, it is, yeah. It's new art, because they did some alternative art, so that must be alternative art for some of the monsters as well, because that's a monster card. They got some guest artists to do stuff as well, and they did some collaborations with indie games and indie movies as well, believe it or not. For instance, you might recognise Abe there. These are the ones I actually want to look through. Yeah, so it looks like, there isn't a sheet that says, here's how we suggest you put things together. I'm just quickly checking the little rulebook. It shows you how to lay out your game, but it doesn't really show you how to lay out your box. They might have done that on the Kickstarter, I don't quite remember. I'd need to check, because there is a lot of cards here, so I'll have a quick look through them, see if they're segmented in a way that I'm not going to mix myself up by showing you a few, because I want to show you the art, because the art is great. Alright, we can show off some of the cards. This is actually pull-outable, so I think if you needed even more space, you have that, so you just have the 4 lines to do with as you please. I know from playing the digital version that has every single card available. The 2 card types you have the most of are item cards and monster cards, so they'd probably take up a row by themselves. Beyond that, I guess you're just free to do like items, characters, and miscellaneous. That would be my guess. So let me just get past the starting gear, because that's not so interesting. There's actually some items in here as well, which is a bit strange. I'm not sure how these are segmented at all. If they're alternative art, I guess that could be why. But we do have some character art here, so I want to just show in general what the art looks like to start with. So there is Stephen. That's a Stephen in a little version. That's a boss from the game. The Lost is a playable character. He starts with Holy Mantle. We've got the Keeper here, Azazel. He's very powerful in the game. Polyon, and this is their starting items right here. Because you always start with a starting item. It can't be destroyed. That's what the eternal keyword means. I think these might be the original. Let me see. I'm just seeing if it's got the marker on it. There was an original expansion, and I'm wondering if that's why those are collected together like that. Because if there's no rhyme or reason to how they've been collected together, that just makes storage even more awkward. But I guess you have to make your own system. I'm just opening up the second of the set that was in there to see what's there. Because there's definitely more characters, because Judas was on the bottom there. There's Lilith. Oh, that's alternative art for sure, for Lilith. That's not Ed's style. Yeah, these must be the alternative arts. Definitely. Wow. That is so weird looking. Blue Baby, yep. Okay, so these are alternative art. Some of these might not be safe for work, just for the record. I don't know for sure. Or just gross. Hey, like a puppet or a plasticine version, that's cool. Yeah, so these are versions of cards that have been drawn or rendered or, done by different artists that Ed worked with. That's pretty cool. It's just amazing seeing so many different art styles. That's got to be done by David Firth, right? That has to be. It looks like his style. Yeah, some of these are truly disgusting. So I guess you would either want to keep these separate if you wanted to keep the alternative arts separate. Oh, that's pretty cute. Or you would just mix them in and just have them as alternative versions. But I guess you wouldn't want both versions in the deck, because then you'd have two instances of the same monster. But yeah, these are all the alternative arts and such. So that's why they were together. Very, very neat. So like I said when I saw it, this must be mostly the collaboration cards, because obviously we've got at the start here Abe's Odyssey. So Abe is a playable character. We've got Ash, that's from a different game by Ed. Baba is you. Baba, starting aim, is you. That's great. I do not know who Blind Johnny is. Let's see here, who else do I recognise? Well, Bumble the Weird is from another game by Ed. Captain Viridian is from VVVVVV. Oh, obviously, we all know who Among Us is. Edmund himself, fair enough. Johnny, is that Tommy Wiseau? Hey, the Pink Knight from Castle Crashers. Psycho Gorman is from a movie, for the record. I've forgotten offhand what it's called. I think the initials of it was VHS. Oh yeah, we must have collaborated with David Firth, because Salad Fingers is a playable character. Spelunky, okay, yeah. Steven is a playable character. Hollow Knight, another fantastic indie game. Hollow Knight is great. So you can actually play as Hollow Knight in this if you wanted to. The Silent from Slay the Spire. YV from Nuclear Throne. And then this, oh, the gun that can kill the past, that's from Enter the Gungeon. Crowdfunder, oh yeah, Sir Junkin is also from Enter the Gungeon. There's a lot of items. The Newsground tank, that's because the original Binding of Isaac was a flash game on Newsground, so that's kind of where Ed got his start. Okay, a lot of Bible Thump with Twitch chat. This is a very niche thing that's actually really funny. On Twitch, there is an emote called Bible Thump, and it's Isaac's face crying like that. So that's why this is here. That's amazing. Blanks are from Enter the Gungeon as well. Okay, on a trash farm. Demon Form, Fiend Fire. Oh, those are cards from Slay the Spire. Great, don't look at that one. Murder, okay, yeah, that's the Among Us. That's from Dicey Dungeons, I think that was called. It's pretty good. Curse of Suspicious. That's from Psycho Gorman thing as well. Oh, Don't Starve, okay, so that's from Don't Starve Together. That's from Spelunky. Hubert Crumperdale's David Firth, yeah. Kiki is You is from Baba is You. Little Hunter is from Gungeon. Oh, that's from, oh, I played that game briefly, but I don't remember what it's called. Quop. The shopkeeper from Spelunky, is that an enemy? Yep. Collector from Darkest Dungeon. The Imposter. Hey, Radiance is the final boss of Hollow Knight. Spoilers. The true final boss. Time Eater is a Slay the Spire boss. Oh, that's a Cyanide and Happiness type thing, isn't it? Zombie Jesus. Again, some of this is, you know, not safe for all audiences. Baba is You. There's the focus for Hollow Knight. Emergency meeting. That's great. In case you aren't aware by this point, the game isn't exactly super serious. The Isaac of Isaac, Re-Isaac, Isaac's Isaac. Each character is named Isaac, and each item has tap it to choose the dice roll. Controller re-rolls it, and Eternal, and lose all other abilities. Isaac was simple, and they were both Isaac. It's just a super confusing room card. So these are optional ones that are tie-ins to other properties for you to mix into the various decks as well. I did forget this set that has the mysterious purple door that I don't know what it is. Not going to bother opening up the blank cards, those are there for you to do your own characters. So, what is the purple door? Oh. I have no idea what these are, I'm not familiar with these as a gameplay thing. I mean, they're neat, but what are they? Oh, they're just... what the... Okay. Oh, are they dividers? Are they slightly bigger than the cards? They're dividers! Look at me working it out. They are for you to separate things into, I guess, rooms, items, or this would be curses actually, that's why it's purple. Yeah, okay. So you can use these to separate how you want. Obviously these are monsters, playable characters, items, well, shop items, the item deck, shop items, and then characters. Okay, so those are dividers, that's why they're slightly larger. They're the same height. No, actually no, the key items, because this is slightly bigger than a card, but no, that's even bigger than them. That's good. So that's for separating stuff at least. So then we have all these cards. I don't know if I'm going to be looking through all of them. I need to separate these like off camera myself to satisfy my own OCD, but big chunk item cards. You get all the items from the game. Coins, pennies, bombs, cards, etc. They affect gameplay. Very good fun. So I'll put them just over there as I look at them to see what they are. That is more items. I think there's like 800 items in the game. Dip, this is going to be monsters. That is the monsters from the original game, I presume, because there's no special marking on them yet. Then we've got, why do they always put the poop monsters on the bottom deck? That's more monsters. Then we have tarot cloth. This is, some actual items. That's the gold background. And if any have a silver border, I think they're counted as trinkets, is the denomination for them. So there's some more shop items. That must be a newer card type, because the back is slightly brighter than I remember it being. Or maybe they just made the cards look better in general, because it didn't used to be that shiny and that like deep of a gold colour. So yeah, these are all your standard stuff. That's starting items. Oh, and optional souls. There's optional objectives you can put in to gain souls, like have the most cards in your hand, or they added some really silly ones, or become Guppy, which is a transformation in the video game. Although they also did add Guppy as a playable character, which is a little confusing. More items, including trinkets. Yep. More treasure, because it's got the gold border. Yep. So you have a shop that shows a couple of items, and then you have like a big deck that you can draw from instead. When we play it with friends, we call that going for a boat, because it could be anything, even a boat. These are the room cards on a planetarium. So this is a new mechanic added in Requiem, where there can be an active room card that changes gameplay. If you're learning to play, skip that until you've played a few games and then incorporate it. It's not that they're super complicated, it's just you might as well not add the optional rule until you've learned the basics, because they can mess with how gameplay flows, but they are a good addition. Oh, then we've got the big bads, the Beast. That's the true final boss of the Binding of Isaac Repentance. Very fun boss. It goes on a bit long, but it's a very fun boss. If you kill him, you get 2 souls and you can loot 6 item cards. It's pretty decent, but he is very hard to kill, and if he hits you, it does 2 damage. Most characters start with 2 damage, or 2 health I should say. The Enigma. Who is the Enigma? Is that Tainted? Oh, these are the characters and Tainted characters, because the Revenant is Tainted Esau, or Tainted Jacob, I guess. So these must be the proper names for the Tainted characters, I guess. I'm going to open this one, actually. I'm curious about this, because these are the other playable characters. There's a lot of playable characters now. What started as just the original, like, 6 characters has blossomed. If you count the indie game ones, maybe 30? It's a bit much. So we have here, yeah, I think the purple background means that they're tainted. Bethany, okay, so that must be Jacob. Oh, no, never mind, because that's Jacob. Fair enough, so that's Jacob and Esau. Yeah, that's Tainted Lost, so these are tainted characters, some of them. That's just Eden. Oh, there's optional variants of Eden, because Eden changes how they look every run. Flash Isaac, so this is the version from the Flash game, that's fun. The Empty is Tainted Apollyon. That's Tainted Azazel, or Tainted Lilith, I forget. Or Eve, whoever. That's Tainted Bethany. Let's ignore that one. That's Tainted Cain. Tainted Eden. That's Tainted Eve. She cuts herself to make babies. That's the ghost that goes with the skeleton whose name I've forgotten. The Forsaken, I think. That's Tainted Isaac. So yeah, they did actually have titles. It doesn't just say Tainted so-and-so. I kind of prefer if it was just called Tainted so-and-so, because then at least you'd know who it is. Grey art though, Tainted Samson. Then these are some more optional souls. Again, you can do special criteria that it says to get a soul, and these are their starting items. I call that Let Me Get On. Oh hey, ABS, I have that. Soulbound. Interesting. Anima Sola, yeah, that's for Jacob and... Oh, yeah, because he can turn into the Revenant, so that's why that's double-sided. Okay, yeah, that's related to the game type thing. So I'll put that to one side because I am going to organise all this. And that is another assortment of starting items, other items, and just general pennies and such. This is going to be annoying to sort into categories once. Once it's done and you have the divider so you know where everything went, it'll be much easier. I love the box though, I love the art on it, on the inside is great. Again, it's just the Lost hiding in there, which is a reference to the game because Isaac hides in a chest, and it works out fine, don't worry about it. So yeah, that is a look at everything you get in the big boy box for The Binding of Isaac 4 Souls Requiem. I really recommend the game. It is a very, very fun game to play, especially with friends. I haven't tried the solo mode, so I don't know how that is. Might do in the channel though. And as I say, there's a tabletop simulator version. It is really well done, fully scripted, and fully endorsed by the devs of the actual game here. So go check it out. It's a very, very fun game to play. And if you want to see it getting played, I've got a bunch of old videos on my gaming channel on YouTube. And we'll probably play it again at some point, but we're playing other stuff on Nerd Night currently. So I did do an original version of the outro, but in case I decide to put this in instead, this is after I sorted all the cards available in the game. You actually do get new copies of the original set, so you don't even need the extra space for that. And the cards are updated balance-wise. The quality seems great to me as well. It seems better. A friend of mine who got this quite a while ago already thought that the card quality had gone down. I don't agree at all. I think it's much, much better. So you still have a lot of space, I guess, if they plan to do a future expansion. But in terms of how I stored stuff, left this basically the same, just for storing the dice and bag and coins and such. Playable characters, starting items, and then the optional souls, plenty of space there left over. Then I did monsters, rooms with a divider at the end there. Over here, items, well, treasure cards, item cards, and then another divider just sitting there. I didn't use these three. I presume these are to separate the duplicate cards, the alternative art cards, the crossover characters, warp zone essentially. I didn't care about that. I kind of like having everything mixed together. Good luck shuffling all these, to be fair. But in terms of how I've organised it, if you want to copy me, that is how I've done it. And with that said, oh, you know what? I'm keeping my silica gel. It's mine. Anyway, with that said, thank you for watching, and ta-ta for now.